Welcome to rSlash Am I the Bad Guy, where OP's girlfriend basically steals his vacation from him. Am I the bad guy for leaving a vacation I planned for my girlfriend after her friends came along? I'm 28 and my girlfriend Sarah is 29. We've been dating for 5 years, and I wanted to go on a vacation with her to celebrate. I planned the trip for several months, and of course I shared my plans with her. I decided on skiing, snowboarding, and other winter activities in Colorado. The activity seemed perfect, and I was looking forward to this for months because I wanted to propose to her at the end of the trip. 5 days before the trip, Sarah dropped the bomb on me that she invited 2 of her friends to meet her there. I was upset because I wanted to spend one-on-one time with Sarah for our anniversary. I feel like it was plain and clear that this was a trip just for us. Even though I expressed my concerns, Sarah insisted that her friends had already made plans to come out and won't back out. I decided to accept this because there was no way for me to force her friends to not come. I wish I'd fought more on this. I figured we could make some changes to our plans, and I would still be able to propose to her privately. Sarah essentially blew me off for her friends, and we didn't get any private time. After 3 days of being in second place, I decided to leave the trip and head home. I told Sarah why I was leaving, and she was upset. She told her friends about my decision, and I was ganged up on. They said they were all having a great time. She thinks that I'm being a jerk for making her pick between her friends and me, even though her friends weren't invited in the first place. I never had personal issues with her friends prior to this trip. I never made Sarah pick between me or her friends because everyone needs friends outside of a relationship. I'm at home now and thinking about everything. I have a day to myself before Sarah comes home, so at least I get to relax a bit. Sarah and her friends think that I'm overreacting and think that I ruined the trip. I think Sarah was disrespectful and rude to me by ruining the purpose of this trip and having her friends gang up on me. Okay, so while it is possible that your girlfriend's friends booked all the travel, the flight, the hotel, whatever, took time off work only 5 days before you actually left, I doubt it. It is much, much more likely that your girlfriend told them about it weeks and months ago and they made plans to come then, because otherwise, if you wait, tickets get more expensive and you might not be able to get time off work. So more than likely, your girlfriend intentionally hid this from you. And the awful thing is that if she really intended to just abandon you to hang out with her friends, she could have told you that. That way, you could have invited your friends so that while she was hanging out with her friends, you were hanging out with your friends. This is really, really scummy behavior, OP, and I hope you recognize these red flags for what they are. Do you really want to marry this girl? OP, you get 0 out of 5 bad guys. I'm giving Sarah 2.5 out of 5 bad guys. Am I the bad guy for making my girlfriend go after her baby daddy for child support and ruining his life? I met my girlfriend on Tinder, and we weren't exclusive to begin with. We get along great, and I thought that we had a future. She got pregnant, and we were kind of excited to start a family. When the baby was born, it was very obviously not mine. I did not sign the birth certificate. I also didn't break up with her, but I also told her that I would not be making myself financially responsible for the baby. We had planned for her to take a year off work to be with the baby. She had already taken her maternity leave. I said that she needed to go after the father for child support. She didn't want to because they were friends. I said I understood, but in that case, she had to take full financial responsibility for the kid. I would help her with all the child rearing, like changing diapers and feelings and all the like, but not pay for any of it. She agreed. She ran through her savings in about 6 months. She talked to me about helping her with baby formula and stuff, and I said no, that's not our agreement. She called the baby daddy and asked for money, and he gave her a few $1,000s to pay for baby stuff, but told her not to contact him again. That's when she really understood their friendship. So she went after him for child support. His fiancée found out about the whole thing and is thinking of breaking things off. The child support is enough that the baby will be well taken care of and it won't affect our finances. He called her crying because we messed up his life. He said that I could easily afford to take care of them and that I'm the bad guy for dragging his life through the mud. She feels terrible about it and blames me for not just stepping up. I love my girlfriend and the baby, and I have no problem raising the baby. But I don't think that I should be held financially responsible when the father has resources and tried to evade responsibility. So am I the bad guy? So it's not okay for you to ruin his life because you're not paying for some other man's baby. But it is okay for him to ruin a woman and a child's life by not paying for the kid that he helped make. Honestly, this kind of feels like an everyone sucks here situation. The baby daddy is a bad guy because he should obviously step up and pay child support. I'm giving him 2.5 out of 5 bad guys. Your girlfriend's a bad guy because she's unwilling to take responsibility for her past actions and she expects you to just fix her problems for you. I'm also giving her 2.5 out of 5 bad guys. Honestly, I'm also giving you 2.5 out of 5 bad guys because you're with a woman, you're raising her child, you're effectively becoming this child's father, but you're not willing to spend any money on the child whatsoever, not a single diaper, not a single meal, nothing? That's not really how relationships work, OP. You're either in the family or you're not. Pick one. This whole attitude of like, I love you and I want to spend my life with you and I love your child and I want to raise your child like it's my own child. But your problems are your problems, so don't come crying to me about them. It's just a really weird mentality to have. I don't know, the situation's pretty complicated, so I'm expecting some disagreements in the comments. If you guys strongly disagree, I wouldn't be surprised, nor would I blame you. I think this is probably a pretty divisive post, is what my gut's telling me. Am I the bad guy for bothering a woman at home? My 4-year-old son had a sleepover last night with a friend. This friend's parents were doing my wife and I a huge favor because my wife's father had surgery yesterday and we needed to be there and didn't get home until after midnight. So yes, this story begins with us already in debt to them. Anyway, at nap time today, my son started freaking out because he couldn't find Sleepy Dumbo, his stuffed animal, and he cannot sleep without Sleepy Dumbo. I remembered that when I picked him up, I didn't see Sleepy Dumbo. So I text the mom and dad of the friend. I get no response. My wife is a wreck, so I'm not bothering her with this, but my son is freaking out. So I tell him that we'll get in the car and go get Sleepy Dumbo, and he's slightly calmed down. So we drive over and I try to call them both on the way. When we get there, I knock and we wait a bit with no answer. At this point, my son starts freaking out more because he's afraid something happened to Sleepy Dumbo. I try to reassure him, but he starts crying. I knock again, and the wife of the couple answers. She says that she's working and asks what I want. I explain about Sleepy Dumbo. She, again, says that she's working and says that she doesn't have time to look for Dumbo and tells us to come back later. My son starts freaking out more. I ask if we can look. She says that she needs to focus. I promise to be fast, and she lets me in. We get to his friend's room and Sleepy Dumbo is on the bed. My son gets him and I hustle us out. I thank the mom, but she's glaring at me. On the way home, he hugs Sleepy Dumbo the whole time. I remind him to be more careful with Sleepy Dumbo in the future, and at home, nap time commences peacefully. About an hour ago, my wife and I both got this text. Me and my wife really don't appreciate the way that OP barged into my house earlier today while I was working. I know you both have a lot going on right now, but the world doesn't revolve around you. Me and my husband agreed to do you a favor, but that doesn't mean that you get to walk all over us. In the future, if you call and we don't answer, that means it's not a good time to come over. I felt very embarrassed and guilty after reading that. My wife, however, is furious. She called the wife of the other couple some indelicate names. I'm really grateful to them for agreeing to babysit for us, and I accept that I'm to blame for forgetting Sleepy Dumbo the first time. I don't know if asking to come in and get him is quite as big of a deal as she's making it out though, and my wife is pissed. I don't know how much of that is misplaced fear for her dad though. Am I the bad guy, or was this just an unfortunate situation? Am I the bad guy for telling my girlfriend that she needs to learn when to shut the F up? Oh man, what a title. I'm a 24-year-old guy, and I've been dating my girlfriend, who's 23, for about 5 months. Every other month, my grandmother hosts a large family dinner with all my close relatives. She encouraged me to invite my girlfriend over for the dinner yesterday. For some context, my entire family and I are black, and my girlfriend is from a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant family. Uh-oh, I hope this isn't going where I think it's going. I was at the dinner party yesterday, and I went to go hang out with my 7-year-old niece, who I'm very fond of, and the rest of the kids to play Monopoly. My girlfriend tagged along. My niece was counting the play money to pass out to everyone, and one of the other kids said something about how he wanted to be rich and get all the $500 bills. My niece, out of nowhere, blurted out that she couldn't be rich because she's an N-word. I was totally taken aback, and I asked her who told her that. Apparently, some bully at school said that to her on career day when they were sharing dream jobs, and she said that she wanted to be a rich president. I told her that that wasn't true at all and hugged her, and she started crying. Then my girlfriend jumped in and told my niece that it's really important to forgive the boy who said that because he probably wasn't trying to be mean and was just confused. I was totally shocked and told her she needs to stop trying to justify what happened. She then tried to hush me and started baby talking my niece and said that she should also try to be nicer to all the kids at school because kindness goes both ways. I was totally livid at this point and pulled my girlfriend aside and quietly but angrily told her that she needs to learn when to shut the F up. She started getting riled up at me and started rambling about how statistics are on her side. I don't know what she meant. I wasn't really processing what she was saying, but I told her to get out of my grandma's house and just leave already. This morning, I got multiple calls from my girlfriend's sisters calling me abusive and a prick. I know my words were harsh, but I thought my girlfriend was talking in a disgusting manner to my niece. Am I the bad guy? What? What is she thinking? What happened and her response to it? There's a complete disconnect. Because she used the N-word, she says to forgive the bully and that kindness goes both ways, and she's talking about statistics. What is she talking about? What is this woman talking about? And on top of it just not making any sense, I don't understand why she would so, enthusiastically jump to the defense of a racist. What's the point? Exactly. Let me just say, OP, as a white guy, and as the father to a daughter who cares very much about women's issues, your girlfriend needs to learn when to shut the f*** up. OP, I think it's time to leave this relationship. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 bad guys. I'm giving your girlfriend, let's say, 2.5 out of 5 bad guys. I mean, honestly, this poor 7-year-old black girl was called the N-word, and your girlfriend's response was, well, let's not get too upset at them. They probably didn't mean it when they said it. What about kindness towards a 7-year-old girl who's being called racial slurs? What about kindness to her, huh? Am I the bad guy for ruining a guy's favorite spot? There's a small bar in my town that I recently started going to. They have trivia night Friday night. I started going a few weeks ago, and after my second week there, one of the regulars at trivia told me that trivia was something that he had set up with the bar owner and I wasn't welcome. He doesn't work for the bar, so I told him that he couldn't really tell me that I was unwelcome. He explained that trivia night was a guy's thing and a safe space for them from the judgment of women. I told him he shouldn't have it in a public bar then. Last week, he left in protest of me being there, and his team was upset because they didn't do as well as usual. I told my boyfriend, and he thinks that I'm being mean to the guy, and I should try to see his point of view. Maybe I'm a little cold-hearted, but I don't really care about the guy, even though he was there first. Yo, what is this guy talking about? He doesn't own the bar, so he has no authority to ban women. And even if he did own the bar, he still wouldn't have the authority to ban women because that's illegal, super illegal. You can't just exclude certain races or genders from your establishment because you'll get sued and you'll lose because people keep trying that over and over in America and it loses every time because it's unconstitutional. I want to say we tried that one time, back when black people weren't allowed in establishments and people decided, hey, that's mega racist and evil and we should stop doing that. So you can't just ban women from your event. This guy's completely wrong. Also, it's a bar. Don't most guys who go to bars want girls to come to bars? What is this guy's a doofus? How is this guy good at trivia? Because clearly he's a moron. That was rSlash A, and if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.